When it comes to Mobile Suit Gundam, there's no shortage of jaw-dropping, show-stopping, awe-inspiring scenes featuring giant mecha. But when it comes to my absolute favorite, it has to be from episode 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. We've got two separate events unfolding at the same time. That is the seemingly unstoppable force that is the Kshatriya wrecking its way towards and through Industrial 7. On the other hand, we have an emotional and life-changing event happening to Banner Lynx. These two scenes pretty much come together in the single greatest mecha anime moment I have ever seen. 1 minute Kshatriya looks absolutely impenetrable, and the next minute it's getting tossed around like a ragdoll by one of the coolest mechas ever designed, the RX-0 Unicorn. That single moment when the NTD initializes against the backdrop of that perfect swelling score by Hiroyuki Sawano is probably, as far as I'm concerned, the greatest mecha moment of all time. And until now, you couldn't just buy that feeling. And yes, I said until now, because now you can. So what I'm going to be taking a look at today is the Real Experience Model RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Auto Trans Edition. Now this is a premium Bandai only exclusive, so once again, this video right here would not have been possible without those absolutely fantastic people over at BUYEE. And I have to say, I am so thankful because this is one of the coolest things, if not the coolest thing, to ever make its way into my collection. This is part transforming mechanical display and part model kit, so there is a build element to this. The quality is absolutely through the roof as you'd expect, and the finished package is mind-blowing. If you're a fan of Gundam, especially Gundam Unicorn, this is quite the spectacle. So a few years ago I used to live in Japan, and just before I left I managed to squeeze in seeing the Unicorn Gundam life-size statue in person, and I have stuck a video of that up here on the channel. And what this model right here seems to do, or definitely feels like it does, is capture the show that life-size Gundam puts on in a not-so-life-size package. But I guess that's enough about introducing this masterpiece right here. Let's get it built. So now that we've got the real experience model built, all I can say is this is beyond impressive. So even before you actually take any of the mechanical aspects into consideration, this is one hell of a bust. So this is what it looks like out of the box just built, and I will comment on the build very briefly. It's very simple, easy to cut out, very nice plastic, and most of it is undergated, so you don't have to do too much crazy cleanup. All the parts fit easy, nothing is difficult at all, and it all just fits together perfectly. You will need 6 AA batteries, which to me is the biggest letdown, that there is no USB or other form of power supply for this. That would be very nice. Batteries, really? It would have been nice to have a USB power option. However, that is my only gripe. This is beautiful. The white on this seems to have been given a bit of a matte finish. It's matte to the touch, feels premium, and looks phenomenal. The gray sections on this are a little bit shiny, so it is a nice contrast against that matte white. And this is covered in some of the most beautiful decals I have ever seen. And these are on the plastic just out of the box, so they are decaled up on the runners. These you can read, and there's so much information all over these. It's so realistic, so fun, because they all describe the technical or engineering aspects of the mobile suit. It gives it a real world feel. And I will mention, this thing is huge. It is really big. So as far as I can see in the instructions, it doesn't mention anything about a scale on this, but it is very large. It is going to stand out in any collection, no matter how big yours is. Up on a shelf, this is super eye-catching, and like I mentioned, this is even before we get this thing cracking, and it's about time that we did. Like I mentioned, this does require 6 AA batteries to get it started up. When you hit that power button, you get a bit of an initialization sound, and the eyes light up behind the visor. On the side here, we have a multitude of buttons, each one doing something different. We've got the EP buttons, that's 1 through 7. These are all lines from the anime. EP1 being episode 1, etc. So these would have been the scenes in which the unicorn transformed into Destry Mode. I have to say, this is really cool. I honestly didn't expect to be this impressed. So it does have an onboard speaker, but you do have the option to actually connect a 3mm audio jack into that. So that means you can run it through some speakers. And speaking of which, let's use this one. And in case you're curious, this is the Gravistar Mars Pro by Gravistar. But review of that if you want to check it out. So as well as the EP buttons that gives us the dialogue and music from the episodes, we also have the AC button. So that is AC1 and AC2. So what this is just the transformation alone. We do have a bit of music going at the same time. AC1 gets us Destry Mode in red, and when you press AC2 you get the whole transformation again, just this time in green. Pressing these buttons once transforms it into Destry Mode, and it stays in that mode until you press the button again, and then it will transform back. The next button we have here is MS, and this right here is Minerva's speech. This is extremely long. It's the entire speech. But during this, we don't just get the red and the green LEDs. This goes through a whole host of colors. So this goes on for quite some time, and there is a nice display going on. So if you do not want the speech, but want the display, we've got another button here, which is CV. This turns on and off the character voices. So if you're playing any of the episodes or the speech, you can hit that button, and then you've just got the music, the transformation, and the light show. So the last function we have here is if you hold down the episode 7 button for 3 seconds, you'll get the entire set list of episodes playing one after another. That is episode 1 through 7 in succession, followed by an ending, which is a bit, not the whole thing, of Starring Child by MX. Honestly, this thing is ridiculously cool, and depending on the speakers that you actually run this into, you can have yourself one hell of a thunderous display. So there's one thing I will mention that may or may not bother some people, and that is it is only the head that transforms. So the body itself always has the hatch segments open, so you can see into the psycho frame. They're just white when the LEDs are not on. Again, this isn't the biggest deal because your eyes won't really be drawn down to that psycho frame because it is in a kind of milky white color. But I just thought I'd mention that in case you wanted to know. Does the body transform too? No, it does not. Finally then, for the extras that come inside of the box, and I'm not sure if this is every single one of them, it may or may not be, it might have been a timed exclusive, but we do get a full cardboard fold-out backdrop that shows the episodes 1 through 7, as well as a picture of full frontal and Banner links. Lastly then, we do have a sheet of stickers. Now, I'm not necessarily sure what these are for because this thing is decaled up perfectly, and these are stickers, not dry transfers or water transfers. They're stickers. So if you did stick these on, I do feel they would heavily detract from this model. So in a way, I'm kind of confused as to what their actual purpose is, but they're in there if you want them. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else to say about this right here. I am blown away. If you want to capture the feeling of Gundam Unicorn inside a relatively large bust, then this is that. It plays the music, it plays the lines, it just is a big ball of Gundam feels, and that is pretty cool. Anyway, if you do want one, you can get one exactly where I got mine, which is through BUYEE, so thanks to them once again for this absolutely majestic piece of plastic, and as always, thanks to you two for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Once again, I cannot finish this video right here without thanking those who support me here on the channel as members and over on Patreon, including Craig Jerry, Caleb Engelhardt, Van Fawn, Global Frequency Studios, Lauren Seahack, Joseph Kukluk, Mr. Winter, Forsetti, Joe, or G59061, and Gunpla UK Limited.